How cheap is Warsaw, Poland, really? Would you believe that someone can live in this European capital on a €10 per week food budget? There's a reason it's known to be one of the best places to live because of the low cost of living. Amina has figured out all sorts of budget hacks to enjoy this city on the cheap.
How long have you lived in Warsaw?
I came in 2018 as a student. So it's not a long time comparing to others who are like for 7 years, but still I experienced a lot here in Poland and in Warsaw.
Okay, well tell us where you're from and how you ended up here in Warsaw as a student.
I'm from Algeria, exactly in Sahara, like south by the borders of Libya. I wanted to come to Poland because I was rejected before, like to go to France.
Oh.
So I was like trying hard like to get to France, but unfortunately it did not happen. So I was applying for universities all around Europe, and Poland accepted me. I think like Poland wanted me to come. Yeah. So yeah, I applied like for computer science, got accepted, and I came to Poland in 2018. Yeah. First time ever traveling abroad.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, alone, no family, no friends.
How did you feel about that?
I felt lost. Yeah, okay. Especially when I arrived to the airport. I was like, okay, I did not even know that you need to buy a ticket because in Algeria I did not use like transportation, like maybe a bus, like I would pay the driver, you know, and I did not know all that technology. For me, all of that was like first shock, yeah. Before the cultural shock was like the technology shock, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was weird, but I got used to it, like from just errors and getting a fine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a hard way to learn.
Yes, but yeah, I did it like that.
Did you find that there was a language barrier? Did people speak English? Do you speak Polish?
I did not speak Polish. Like I just knew some words to impress the ambassador, like to get the visa. That's it. But except that, I did not know any. I would say that only in big bank they would speak English, but in a small shop like Biedronka here, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah, so Google Translator was my best friend in the first month, really. Yeah.
For university, was it all in English then?
Yeah, it was, but even like the teachers or like the professors did not have the same level of English. So some courses like C++, like for coding, it was so hard to understand the teacher, you know, and like we needed to do a lot of work like by ourselves to succeed. We couldn't count only on the professors because there was still some language barrier, even if they spoke some English, and it was so hard to even understand, you know.
Did you have any Polish friends in the class that could help? Or
No. We were all foreigners in that class. Yeah.
Okay.
We were all foreigners, so some Belarusians, Ukrainians not, because Ukrainians, they would study Polish within 3 months and done. They can study anything in Polish. But for us, like I don't know, Africans, Americans, or wherever, like it takes you like 1 year to learn the language and to be able to study in university.
Sure.
In Polish, yeah.
So that's tough.
It is. Yeah, especially grammar. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, so you were in university. Did you live by yourself? Did you live with other people? What was your experience like when you first moved and the cost of living at that point?
At the beginning, I used couch surfing. Within 1 week, I found a dormitory, like from university, and I was living in one room with 2 other girls, and in the whole flat we were like 5.
Okay. And
I was thinking that it was cheap, but it turned out not, because I was paying 650 zlotys. I don't know how it is in dollars, but when I was doing my research, I was finding like one single room by yourself, it's like 700 zlotys. So just a small difference, and to have your own privacy.
Sure.
Yeah. But for me, I wanted to even still save up more money. Even 650 zlotys, I wanted to even save up more. So I found another room, 600 zlotys, but I was sleeping in the living room, like open like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And without any privacy, like people go to the kitchen, I am there.
Okay.
You know, I just wanted to save extra 50 zlotys because I was in a very tight budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was worth it, even though you didn't have much privacy, but
yes,
you saved some.
Yeah. Like as long as my flatmates were nice, I did not mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
How else did you save, like with food and that type of stuff? Like, were there any other hacks that you had that you could save a little more?
So I was like having like 50 zlotys per week. It was really tight, but I was only buying on discounts. Yeah, like if there is pasta on discount, I would buy pasta. Like this week, pasta. Yeah, next week rice. It was not the best diet, yeah, but I was like very fixated on 50 zlotys per week. I cannot go more.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was not even eating out. Only if friends would invite me. I would say, like from the beginning, I will not be paying. If you invite me, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So, and I was invited many times. So I was trying many things outside, but friends would like pay for it.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. And how long did you live like that? For a year? Are you still living like that?
No, I'm not. Gratefully, I'm not. I'm not. 3 years on that budget.
That'd be hard.
Yeah. I was staying like that for like, I would say 6 months, even more a little bit. I found a job like as a waitress.
Okay.
I was not paid. Yeah, that was another story. Like, so I was... normally, I should be paid 8 zlotys per hour, and this is even less than the minimum salary.
Okay.
Like minimum salary per hour is like 12, 15 zlotys, and I was paid 8, but not really paid. So I was working like from 8 p.m. until 4 p.m. because it was a restaurant, bar, and for parties, and then sleep. And then go to university in the morning, like sleep maybe 4 hours. So after 1 month, I realized that the pay was really too small, 8 hours, 8 zlotys per hour. So I told them like I would like to quit and I would like to be paid. And then no communication. Yeah. So until now, like I did not get it, but all right, I found better job afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good that you found a better job. Did any of your friends have a similar experience to that? Like, is that something that could be common that people need to be aware of? Okay.
Yes. Especially when you are not, you're not having a contract, like black job, let's say it like that. I know it's hard to find a job like with a contract. So the better solution for that to be paid daily, to not accept to be paid at the end of the month. Because if you complain, they tell you, okay, go and complain. Like, where is your proof?
Right.
Yeah. So, I would say this is my advice, to be paid daily.
Okay, good advice. So we know that you lived on a budget before, but what would be a realistic cost of living for someone who wants to move to Warsaw?
So let's say that the rent is like for a room, 800 zlotys, like a good room. Like it will go until up to 1,000 zlotys. And then you have the budget for food. Not in my case, so let's say 400 zlotys. Yeah. So now like we have like 1,200 zlotys for food and necessary stuff. Yeah, food and shelter. And then the rest is really up to you. So I don't see how someone can spend more than 2,000 zlotys here in Warsaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that gives a good range for people.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How about the weather? It's the winter right now. How do you like the winters here? And how is that compared to back home?
Yeah. First year was a shock. Yes. I was having like 2 coats in the same time.
Okay.
I was avoiding going out. Yeah, I was scared of this. Like when I see -3, I'm like, what? What is this? Like, does it even exist? Yeah. It was tough for the first year, but now, not.
Okay, so you've gotten used to it.
Yeah, I did not expect that my body would get used to it. Like I was thinking that this is genetics. Yeah, like you are born in Poland, your
body's okay with it. Yeah,
but I got used to it now, and also like I know how to dress up properly, like smart layering, not like just like 2 coats. I'm like and like I'm getting like good shoes, good quality shoes, and like pants, like good layering.
Good layering.
Yeah.
And are you able to find all of those types of clothes here in Warsaw?
Yes, like Decathlon. They have good clothes for winter. I'm not fashionable, so
you look good.
So like for someone who is like looking to look more stylish, I don't know much about that, but like sports clothing is great for winter to survive normally. Yeah.
It seems like Warsaw has a little bit of everything though, like Decathlon, but then I've seen like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, so it's like the whole range,
Yes,
right? So you
yes.
can pretty much find anything here.
Exactly.
Now,
Even
prices.
thrift shops, they are common, very common.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember like I bought like shoes for running in a thrift shop, 34 zlotys.
Okay.
And when I checked in on Google, those shoes, they were costing 200 zlotys.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And thrift shops, like even in the weekend, they have different price, like lower price. You have like each day is a different price, so you can choose and pick the day that you want.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's circle back to the public transportation because you said you got fined. So let's chat about what public transportation is offered here in Warsaw. What's the process so you don't get fined? What do you do now?
There are metros, trams, buses, like the common ones. You can buy tickets like in the small ticket machine, but then if you don't find it in that bus stop or if you are in a hurry, you can buy it inside.
Okay.
For the new buses or newer tramways. However, in metros and the old tramways, they don't have. So
Okay.
you need to buy it in advance. Also, like through your phone or bank, like a Polish bank, Millennium Bank Polski, you can buy the ticket from that bank app.
Okay.
Yeah. However, now they changed the rule. Like, even if you buy it, you need to scan it. So you will find a QR code, and you will need to scan that code.
All right.
To validate your ticket. So buying a ticket is not enough. You need to go inside and validate it.
Validate.
This
Good.
was my mistake. I did
Okay.
not. I was not aware of that. I was buying tickets, and then I was getting into the bus. Okay, normal citizen.
my ticket, yeah.
And then like the controller came. I'm like, here is my ticket. Yeah, I was confident that I had it. And then he said, it's not validated. I said, but I just bought it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you need to validate it here. And for me, I was seeing some people doing like that, and I did not really understand what's the meaning of that. So I got fined, and I cried because it was a lot. It was 160 zlotys.
Wow.
And the ticket cost 2 zlotys.
Oh.
2 and
Oh,
160.
no. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Especially I was on budget, so
Right, that's even worse.
Yeah.
So he didn't say just validate. He was very strict about it.
Yes.
So are they seem pretty strict. Then they don't
Yes,
give you
yes,
the
they
benefit
are.
of the doubt for not being from here. It's too bad.
And even like when they get in, they act as if they are normal. They are sitting down, and then when the doors shut, like close, they stand up, ticket, please.
So they're sneaky, so
Yeah.
people can't get on without paying or validating, right?
Yes, exactly.
So as far as there's buses, trams, metro. Is there Uber or some sort of ride share here?
Yeah, exactly. We have Uber, Bolt, other companies that maybe I'm not aware of. It's very common. I've never used one, to be honest, because of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the public transportation is very good, even at night. I did not need to use it. Also, there are like some, I think there are some groups on Facebook, like for private ride shares, like for those who are independent, like they are not using Uber. You can like contact someone like, hey, I need a ride from Warsaw to Krakow, who is going?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's an option.
something like BlaBlaCar, but in a Facebook group, like for normal people. Yeah.
And then before the cameras were rolling, you told me how you got here, which was, how'd you get here?
Hitchhiking. Using my thumb.
Using your thumb. So explain for our viewers, is that a common thing? Is it a safe thing? Like what's like hitchhiking here?
So hitchhiking, you just use your thumb. Standing by the street. So I live 50 now I live 50 kilometers from Warsaw. We have convenient trains, buses. However, as it is Sunday, trains and buses are every 2 hours, which was not convenient for me. So I went like on the main road. I knew my map. Yeah, I knew like the next town where it will be. So I stood up like next to the street, and I made the way like if the car would stop, would have like a place where to park. And I just stood up. Yeah. So I got 2 cars. took me one halfway and the other one until Warsaw.
Okay. Now, do you pay for that, or they just take you because they're going that direction?
Just for free, yeah.
That's
like
nice.
I would just tell them, are you going to Legionowo or are you going to Warsaw? They tell me, no, but I'm going like one town before that. Great.
And this is all in Polish, though?
Yes.
Or English? Because you speak enough Polish now.
Yes,
so
yeah.
you probably recommend that if someone's going to do this, they should have a good understanding of Polish.
Yes, because not everyone speaks English. So maybe you just need to tell them the name of the town and they say, tak.
Okay,
yeah?
tak.
Or
Okay.
yeah, like you see from their faces that they know.
Okay.
Yeah. If it is safe,
Yes.
I would say yes. It is still legal as well. I've never had any problems with that. I even like traveled in Poland like hitchhiking from like to Krakow, Wrocław, Poznań up, and I've never had problems. They are all nice. Like they expect you to talk to them. They expect you to have conversation, tell who you are, where you came from. Yeah, this is what is expected from you because they are given a ride for free, at least to entertain them.
Right, yeah, some company probably.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So then how about safety just in the city in Warsaw? Do you feel safe personally? Have you ever heard of any incidences that happen, or what's some advice you would give for someone who's moving here just to stay safe?
Recently, like I talked about 11th of November, which is the independence of Poland. I remember on my first month of studies, the professor of the university told us like, soon the independence of Poland, you will have like a day off, you will not study, but I would advise you to not go out.
Okay.
So we were asking like why, because there are like those nationalists, like people who would hit foreigners. I did not go to be out, to be honest. I was just looking at people like through the window, and also like other foreigner friends. They also told me like horror stories that they had, like when they went out on that day. However, I am now going out on that day in my town. I do races on that day, and nobody like bothered me or like pointed out that I am a foreigner. What are you doing here or anything?
Okay.
So it can happen that you would face racism on that, especially on that day, because there are some extremist people who would attack.
Okay.
Yeah, but I saw recently like some foreigners who like were cherished by Poles. They took pictures with them, like they were telling them you are welcome in our country, and it is sad like to see like a day like that, independence, to turn out to something that foreigners would be afraid of. Yeah.
Any advice you would give, maybe not on that day, but just people walking around, just to stay safe?
I did not experience like pickpocketing. Pickpocketing, yeah, I have not experienced that. Maybe if you see someone drunk, because it is common, like especially on a Friday night or a Saturday night, just to ignore what people are saying. Because if you get into it, like they would, maybe you would get into a fight.
Okay.
Yeah, many people who are drunk, they would comment on me or something, but just I would ignore as if they don't even exist. Yeah, I would say like to ignore what the comments, especially from drunk people.
Okay, good to know. All right, let's shift a little bit. You have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Tell us about your channel.
I started in the pandemic. Because I was working from home and I had plenty of time. And also I was getting a lot of messages from my friends like asking me how to get to Poland, how do you apply for visa, and etc. And I was fed up of like writing the same thing over and over. So I was like, okay, I will do one video to explain how to apply for university.
Okay.
And they liked it. And that was like the second one was about visa, and so on and so on.
All right. What's the name of your channel?
Amina Zalewska.
Okay.
I know Zalewska is not an Arabic surname because I got married and to a Polish person. So yeah, before it was Amina Bendada.
Okay.
Now it's Amina Zalewska.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and put that in the description below, so anyone who wants to know more about Poland can check that out.
Thanks.
Well, is there anything else that you would want to tell people who are watching this video about Warsaw specifically?
Warsaw is not only the old town It's not only the Nowy Świat, it's also like all the other suburbs around, which are very interesting. And I would advise everyone to just go beyond, like to go to the zone 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for foreigners or like tourists, because you will see the real side of Warsaw. It's not only like the huge buildings, skyscrapers, and etc.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my advice. I would
Yeah,
say.
that's great advice. Yeah, not just stay just right in the city
Yes.
center area, but kind of explore the other parts because Warsaw seems very big.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amina, thanks so much for talking to Expats Everywhere today. And if you guys want to see more about Warsaw, then check out this playlist up here. And don't forget to check out Amina's channel as well, down here and in the description. Now let's get moving.